So in today's cosplay tutorial video, we're going to be making the vest slash corset for Jester from Critical Role. Just like with the rest of the costume, I'm using the Jester pattern from Indigo Patterns, which is a print-at-home digital pattern. And you start by printing out the first page, which has this key on it, making sure that it's to scale, and then you print out the rest of the pieces, tape them together, and cut them out. I cut the outer pieces out of a stretch faux leather, and we're going to sew the side front pieces to the front and the side back pieces to the center back pieces. Putting right sides together, sew the vest front to the vest back along the shoulder seams. Repeat the same process with the vest lining, except we're going to be adding some boning channels into the seams. For my boning channels, I'm using a pre-made boning casing, but you could use bias tape, twill tape, whatever you have on hand. Trim a small amount of fabric away from the neckline and the armholes on just the lining piece to make it slightly smaller than the outer portion of the vest. Putting right sides together, sew the front to the lining along the armholes and along the neckline. Then turn it upwards, and we're going to sew the outer side pieces together and the lining side pieces together on both of the sides. Then sew a boning channel to the newly formed side seam on either side. Cut your boning pieces to the desired length, and be sure to round off the edges so they're not sharp like that before you put them into the channels. Sew the pieces together along the bottom, leaving the sides open so we can turn it right side out. Turn it right side out, and we're going to add the zipper. There are definitely better methods for applying the zipper. What I did was just serge the lining and outer part together to treat it as one piece and then sew in the zipper, but you could sew in the zipper on the brown side first and then hand sew the lining on to have a much cleaner, nicer looking zipper. But at the time that I made this, I was under a time crunch and didn't really have time to do that. Cut two of each of the vest details out, then we're going to sew them together all along the edge, leaving a space open so it can be turned right side out. Trim away the excess seam allowance except for on the area where it needs to be turned. Then we're going to turn it right side out and sew it to the vest. My fabric is a stretch fabric, so it kind of warped a little bit, but it would be a pain to seam rip it off, so I'm not going to worry about it. And lastly, to finish off the vest, I sewed on these decorative gold buttons onto each end of the tabs. And with that, Jester's vest slash corset is done. For part 4 coming tomorrow, where I finish the costume, please subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.